With us now, here, Congressman Glenn Ivey, Democrat from Maryland, and his shot is nice and steady because we're doing it. We appreciate that. Okay, I want to start with you to just first get your response to what you heard your colleagues saying there about bringing the temperature down, about the importance of debate and free speech and all of this.
I agree with, I think, pretty much everything you said. I thought it was right on the money. I will add this, though. I think with respect to the temperature on this issue, I think it's not just what politicians are saying. I think it's deeper and broader than that. A lot of these shooters, whether it's in the Charlie Kirk scenario or these many school shootings and the like, are lone wolf individuals, usually young white males who get radicalized in the internet. And I think we need to start talking with the internet providers about how these algorithms are working and pushing. Once you get into that track, it starts pushing you down that. Let's have a conversation about those algorithms. And the other, of course, is the firearms. Trying to make sure we keep as many red flags as we can find agreement on. I know it's hard to get common ground on this issue, but you know, some of this stuff I would think we'd be able to do to keep powerful firearms out of the hands of people with mental health issues or some serious issues.
Okay, so if we go after the algorithms, if the government goes after the algorithms and goes after these companies, doesn't that kick into the same sort of free speech concerns that we're witnessing? Democrats right now are looking at Republicans. They're looking at the president saying, my critics should be taken off of television. And they're saying this is a violation of free speech. Is there any concern that if you take that same thinking over telling social media companies what they can post, what they can't post, isn't that a similar kind of thing?
Well, as I understood the Republican argument from last Congress,
right.
when Biden was in the White House, it was not that the algorithms are doing whatever. It is you're telling the internet providers to take down.
Jawboning.
Yeah, to take, like, President Trump. You're arguing to have him banned, or I think sometimes they just, you know, got a little too far over the line, like actual factually false information. Yeah. There's an active shooter at the school. I think everybody would agree that that should come down. But this is a little different. This isn't like telling them what speech to provide or not. They can continue to provide all of the same speech on it. It's just, how are you steering people who are doing an internet search? That's
so. So then would be not in the free speech area. We'd be in the trade secrets sort of side of things.
Yeah, and I don't want to know what the trade secret is. Probably wouldn't understand how the algorithms work anyway.
Coca-Cola.
That's right. Okay. But can we find a way to stop steering these guys towards, you know?
Okay. Funding deadline. Back to business. Here we are. 11 years ago, 12 years ago, Ted Cruz did something amazing. He said, we will shut down the government unless you repeal Obamacare. And Democrats said, what are you talking about? We're talking about a clean CR to keep the daggone government open, and Democrats denounced that. A lot of water has gone under the bridge since then. And now I hear Democrats say, we're not going to give you a clean CR. What we want you to do is to do the Obamacare extender in order for us to vote for a continuing resolution. What's different?
At a minimum, I would say we'd want the Obamacare extender because I think in a couple of months, regular people are going to open up an envelope and see that their health care premiums have tripled overnight, essentially, even though their coverage hasn't changed. So a lot of them are going to have to just drop off. The Medicaid cuts, you know, the $1 trillion is another one that I think we should be pushing for as well. So it's not like a deal we're trying to get, but because the Republicans have dug such a deep hole.
And they know it. We know that they know it because they rebranded it's not the big, beautiful bill anymore. It's like the working families, whatever.
Ironically, this could be Democrats saving Republicans from themselves. I think it's unlikely they're going to end up doing this for a variety of political reasons. But all we're saying right now is you've got people in your districts, hospitals are shutting down in your districts, you got people who are going to lose their health care coverage, grandma's kicked out of the... Let's take care of this.
So on the list of asks from Democrats, so they can do it in the House without you. They did it in the House without you. But they need 8, I think, in the Senate. 7.
And keep in mind, they only got 44 votes in the Senate. There were 8 Republican senators who did not vote at all. So that's another indicator that they realize they're in trouble.
And on the Democrats' list of the things that they're asking for a vote to keep the government open includes the big one, which is all the Medicaid cuts, undo all the Medicaid cuts. And there is the Obamacare extender, and there are a couple more on the list. What's the stop point for you where you say you can shut down the government until the cows come home? I'm not voting for one unless I get what? What's your?
Well, I'll leave that to the Democratic leadership. That's above my pay grade. But I think those types of things, the damage that was done in the quote unquote one big beautiful bill, trying to unravel that is the way we need to go. Yesterday, I started the day at an Alzheimer's march and ended the day at a suicide prevention fundraiser. Both of them have experienced massive cuts from the federal government. The Alzheimer's piece, there are people out there celebrating the advances we've made, but they also know that the clinical trials have been disrupted based on what the Trump administration has done. I mean, there's 1,000 issues like that across the country that we can't all fix at once. But we've got to start fixing what he's done. I mean, it is horrific, the impact it's going to have on regular people.
Okay, you're former U.S. attorney. What is going to happen in the Eastern District of Virginia? The president has said that he has had fired the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, whom he nominated and who was confirmed for his refusal to prosecute some of the president's political enemies. He posted on his social media platform a direct message to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. You have to go after Adam Schiff. You have to go, I forget all of the Democrats that were in the list.
It's a long list.
It's a long list, but you have to go prosecute and punish these people. Now we have a vacancy in the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia. What is going to happen here?
I'm not sure, but I'll say this. That is one of the premier offices in the country.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a fantastic office. They do great work, and they train their lawyers the right way. And I think that might be why Mr. Siebert stepped away. He's like, no, I don't do politics with prosecution. We play it by the book, law, evidence. We do it the right way. And that's why he got fired. So the question will be, I think, whether they can find someone in that office who will break with that tradition and, frankly, their oath and do what the president wants.
And with the blue slip tradition, and this is a weird Washington thing, but the blue slip tradition is that when somebody's nominated for a judgeship or nominated for a U.S. attorney's job in a district, that the senators from that state basically have a veto power. It's the Senate club working to say, we're not going to nominate anybody into one of these jobs in your district that you absolutely hate. Could we see this go away?
Well, I think what they might do is what they tried to do in New Jersey, which is put the acting role.
Pocket,
so just so they can circumvent having people actually vetted who've agreed to do the type of misconduct that Trump wants from them.
Okay. All right, America, if you knew that the College Park Airport was the world's, did you know this? That was the world's oldest continually operated airport since 1909. You would know him already, but if you don't, there he is right here, Congressman Glenn Ivey. We appreciate you.